Good evening. Welcome to the 220th Hootenanny at Dornan's. We have a fairly full sign-up sheet tonight. Looks like we'll have some good entertainment for you, and we are aware that we already have a full house and they're turning people away. So, if you leave, if you do happen to decide that you've had enough and are heading home, why, please tell Frank at the door so he can let somebody else in. We do this every Monday night. We ask but two things. The first is, please, no smoking in here the rest of the evening. And the second is, since this is acoustic folk music, and since we don't try to overpower you with a large PA system, we invite everyone to join us in what has become, over the years, a tradition here at Dornan's of not talking while the performers are on the stage, so everyone has a chance to listen. And we hope you enjoy the evening. Once again, please, no smoking. If you have to smoke, please step outside. Another one of our traditions is that when he is here, my cohort, Bill Briggs, always starts the evening out. February 22nd, 1993, the very first night we had a Hootenanny here, why, Bill was the first one to pick up an instrument and sing some songs, and he continues to do that every Monday night. So please welcome Bill Briggs.
All right, well, we'll try a song of a courting song and anti-courting song. The summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme blooms around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go, and together to full wild mountain time, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon clear crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to full wild mountain time, all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she won't go, then I'll surely find another to full wild mountain time, all around purple heather will you go? Lassie, go, and we'll all go together to full wild mountain time, all around the purple heather. Will you know, lassie, go? Thank you. Have to put a little contrast in, you know, get the other side of the story. Come all you fair and tender ladies, take a warning how you court young men. They're like the stars of a summer's morning. They'll first appear and then they're gone. They'll tell to you some loving story and make you think their love was true, and then they'll go and court another, and that's the love they have for you. If I'd have known before I courted, I never would have courted none. I'd have locked my heart in a box of golden and fastened it up with a silver pin. I wish I were a little sparrow, and I had wings, and I could fly. I'd fly away to my false young lover, and when he speak, I would deny. But I am not a little sparrow. I have no wings, neither can I fly. So I sit down here to weep in sorrow and try to pass my lover's bar. Don't you remember our days of courting, when your head lay upon my breast? You could make me believe by the falling of your arm that the sun rose in the west. Come all you fair and tender ladies. Take a warning how you court young men. They're like bright stars of a summer's morning. They first appear and then they're gone. Thank you.
That was Bill Briggs, and you will see a lot of Bill. He takes over emceeing. Next person we have, this is his 83rd appearance here at the Hootenanny. He is the person that runs the Teton Valley Ranch Camp over in Kelly. Pretty soon is going to get fairly busy over there and might not make it to some of the hoots, but we hope that he'll be able to get away and come over here every Monday night. This is Matt Montaigne.
Thank you. And Hank. now I can talk and say hello. This is Hank Phibbs, and Hank just sort of circulates around back there and joins up with about everybody he can, but it's nice to have him playing along too, and he does a nice job with the dobro. So thanks, Hank. I had a lot of fun with that little harmonica. A lot of great stories go along with it. So this one's a Bill Briggs type of song here. Ha la la dia la dio, right? Ha la la dia la dio, ha la la dia la dio, la di da ya la la dia la dio, ha la la dia la dio, ya la la dia la dio, ha la la dia la dio, la di da yo. Hi day ho la ho dio, ho la la dio la dio la dio. Hi day ho la dio, ho la la dio la dio, ho la la dio la dio, hey la dio la dio, ho la dio la dio, ho la dio, ha la dio la dio la dio, ho la dio la dio. Thank you.
Matt Montaigne, along with Hank Phibbs there. Matt's an old Dartmouth guy. We get the yodeling back there. We learn, that's where we learn. Up in those White Mountains. All right, we've got a fellow that put on, it was really a spectacular performance last week. Really, it was an outstanding, spontaneous. Maybe he'll do that again. Who knows? Here he is, Greg Keckler.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for that kind introduction. For those of you that weren't here last week and don't have any idea what Bill was talking about, I set a new low, a new standard of performing at Dornan's. It was a good thing I started off with my excuses before I ever began. But 3 lines into a song that I was doing, I didn't actually black out up here. It was more like a whiteout. I still knew who I was and where I was, but I had no idea where I was going or what I was trying to do. So it was pretty hysterical. But we all had a good laugh over it. Right about then, what we were trying to do was a song called Windy Bill. Well, Windy Bill was a Texas man, and he could rope, you bet. The steers that Windy hadn't tied, he had not met him yet. But the boys, they talked of a little black steer that was kind of a bad outlaw, who lived way down in the bottoms, the foot of a rocky draw. Well, this little black steer had stood his ground with punchers from everywhere. The boys give Windy 2-to-1 that he could not quite get there. So Windy takes out his old roping horse whose withers and backs are raw, and prepares to tackle that little black brute that lived down in the draw. With his Sam Slick tree, his brazos bits, and his shaps and taps to boot, and his old McGee tied hard and fast, Bill goes to tackle the brute. Well, the little roping horse, he saunters around, and that steer begins to paw. Then he poked his tail straight up in the air, and he heads down through the draw. Well, Windy's horse goes after him like a he'd been eating corn. Windy stuck the old McGee right around the black steer's horn. The little roping horse, he shut it right down in the cinches that bust like straw. The old McGee and the Sam Slick tree went drifting down the draw. Well, Windy lands in a big rock pile, and his face and his hands are scratched. He said he could always rope a steer, but he guessed he met his match. And he pays his debts like a little old man without no bit of jaw, and allows that old black steer was the boss of everything in the draw. Well, the moral of this story, boys, is very plain to see. When you go out to rope a steer, don't you tie hard your McGee, but you take your dallies like a man, according to California law, and you won't see your old rim fire go drifting down the draw. I hope that was just a little bit better than last week. But there, you know, when you start off at the bottom, there's no place to go but up. The other thing I would like to point out to all of you is the more you drink, the better I sound. So please, help yourself. Along about 18 and 25, I left Tennessee very much alive. I never could have made it through the Arkansas mud if I hadn't been riding on the Tennessee stud. I had some trouble with my sweetheart's paw, and one of her brothers was a bad outlaw. So I sent her a letter by my Uncle Bud, and I rode away on the Tennessee stud. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Well, we drifted on down into no man's land. We crossed a river called the Rio Grande. I raced my horse with a Spaniard's foal till I got me a skin full of silver and gold. Now me and a gambler, we couldn't agree, and we got in a fight over Tennessee. We jerked our guns, he fell with a thud, and I rode away on the Tennessee stud. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. One day I was riding in a beautiful land when I run smack into an Indian band. They jumped their nags with a whoop and a yell, and I rode away like a bat out of well. I circled their camp for a time or two just to show them what a Tennessee horse can do. Them redskin boys couldn't get my blood, 'cause I was riding on the Tennessee stud. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Well, I got just as lonesome as a man can be, dreaming of my girl in Tennessee. The Tennessee stud's green eyes turned blue, 'cause he was dreaming of his sweetheart too. So we loped right back across Arkansas, and I whooped her brother and I whooped her pa. I found that girl with the golden hair, and she was riding on the Tennessee mare. So stir up and side by side, we crossed the mountains and the valleys wide. Come to Big Muddy and we forded the flood on the Tennessee mare and the Tennessee stud. Now a pretty little baby on the cabin floor, and a little horse colt playing around the door. I love that girl with the golden hair, and the Tennessee stud loves the Tennessee mare. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood, and there never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. There never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Thank you very much.
Greg Keckler. And when a song bucks you off, you got to get back on that song again, which he did. But you know, when he got bucked off, it was the most artistic recovery I have ever heard. Oh, fabulous job. All right. Oh, now we've got a guy. This guy, he says he's going to be heading up for the high country, but while he's still around, he's going to play some songs for us. This is J.R. Bell. Mr. Bell, are you there?
Jerry.
Jerry.
Thank you. Do a couple songs that I haven't done forever. One of them I've never done here. I just stumbled across this song in some of my notes. So we'll see how it comes out. Everybody's gone away. Said they're moving to LA. There's not a soul I know around. Everybody's leaving town. Some caught a freight, some caught a train. Find the sunshine, leave the rain. There's not a soul I know around. 'Cause everybody's leaving town. Some gotta win, some gotta lose. Good time Charlie's got to blues. You know my heart keeps telling me you're not a kid at 33. You play around, you lose your wife. You play too long, you lose your life. I got my pills to ease the pain. Can't find a thing to ease the rain. You know I'd like to settle down, but everybody's leaving town. Some gotta win, some gotta lose. Good time Charlie's got to blues. Good time Charlie's got to blues. Thank you. This is another old tune that I kind of stumbled across again today. I might have done it here before, but I'm not sure. We were out on a date in my daddy's car. Hadn't driven very far, and there in the road, straight ahead, our car was stalled, the engine was dead, and I couldn't stop, so I swerved to the right. I'll never forget the sound at night, the crying tires, the busting glass, the painful scream that I heard last. I said, oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. Well, when I woke up, the rain was pouring down. There were people standing all around, and something warm was burning in my eyes. But I found my baby somehow that night. I raised her head, I smiled and said, hold me, darling, for a little while. I held her close, I kissed her our last kiss. I found love that I knew I would miss. Now she's gone, and even though I hold her tight, I lost my love, my life that night. I said, oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I got to be good,
It's Jerry Bell. Going to be leaving here, go wrangling up in the high country. We've got a new person, first time here tonight. I don't know where she's from. This is Marina Vanderbroek. Marina, are you there?
Right now, I will.
Is she coming?
She's hiding somewhere.
No, stretch it out.
Wait till right finder.
You've already talked about me. Now what are you going to say?
Oh, God. Totally lost.
How about those cops? Tell a joke, Bill.
Okay, well, you heard about the Boy Scout that helped the lady across, the nun across the intersection, and when they got to the other side, the nun said, "Thank you very much," and the little Boy Scout said, any friend of Batman's a friend of mine."
She's here.
Yes, it's Marina.
This means you.
Okay.
It's scary. Isn't it?
Yeah, real scary. There is a young man that I know. His age is 21. Comes from down in southern Colorado. Just out of the service. He's looking for his fun someday soon. Going with him someday soon. My parents cannot stand him 'cause he rides the rodeo. My father says that he will leave me crying. I would follow him right down the roughest road I know. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. But when he comes to call, my pa ain't got a good word to say. Guess it's 'cause he was just as wild in his younger days. So blow your old blue northern, blow your love to me. He's riding in tonight from California. He loves his damned old rodeo as much as he loves me. Someday soon, going with him someday soon.
It's the bridge.
But when he comes to call, my pa ain't got a good word to say. Guess it's 'cause he was just as wild in his younger days. So blow you old blue northern, blow your love my way. He's riding in tonight from California. He loves his damned old rodeo as much as he loves me. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. Someday soon, going with him someday soon.
This is dedicated to all our friends in North Dakota and the southern part of Canada along the Red River.
From this valley they say we are leaving. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathways a while. Come Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true. I've been thinking a long time, my darling, of the sweet words you never would say. Now alas must my fond hopes all vanish, for they say you are going away. Do you think of the valley you're leaving? We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. Do you think of the kind hearts you're breaking and the pain you are causing to me? Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true. And the cowboy who loved you so true. Thank you.
Well, that was worth waiting for. Marina Vanderbrook. All right, we've got a fellow that's played with us 3 times before. Plays other places. I think he's pretty much a professional, touring around. Nate, Native Walrus. Here he is, Native Walrus.
Good evening. If you're here last week, you heard this tune with chap lips. Now we're going to give it to you with real lips. It's called Piece of Ground. This is the upscale version of the evening. Up to your very eyes. Well, all the birds are on the fly, soaring through a clear blue open sky. River runs cold, but it runs wide, so wide that you can't even see the other side. Winds are switching, you know, clouds collide. Alone in this field to the lightning I must abide. Well, everybody's looking around, searching for their own piece of ground. Time and time again you're spinning like you are bound. You're searching for your own piece of ground. Like a stumbling block, you know we all gotta roll over. Minute by minute, you know we all feel a little older. You know I thought I heard somebody whispering over my shoulder. It's getting colder and colder as we get older. Well, everybody is looking around, searching for their own piece of ground. Time and time again you're spinning like you are bound. You're searching for your own piece of ground. Well, I was looking off a mountain on the Frisco Bay. The skyway seems a little bit different up here each day. Looking toward the stars, trying to find our way. Nothing really ever changes, I guess that's just the way. Well, everybody is looking around, searching for their own piece of ground. Time and time again you're spinning like you are bound. You're searching for your own piece of ground. On the rise, when the sun catches up to your very eyes, well, all the birds are on the fly, soaring through a clear blue Teton sky, soaring through a clear blue open sky. Thank you. This next one's, I left the area for a few years and moved out to California to pursue the music thing and had a baby, or my wife had a baby, and kind of puts the hammer on things, so. But one day I was in San Francisco where we hung out and on Haight Street, and this is called Haight Street. If you've been there, you know, and you might feel the lyric, but otherwise just kick back. I've seen our lives are changing in so many ways. Forget about tomorrow, you know we gotta live for today. People living and loving, that's the only way. You know, I think it's possible we all can make it here on earth today. Dreams of reality, no, they fade into darkness. The human race, they can't seem to get enough of that farceness. Most of the people, you know, they just hang and convalesce. You know they're looking for some reason, they want to reminisce. Or said they're looking for some reason, they want to reminisce. Down on 8th Street, bring it back. Time moves by so quickly now these days. If you don't look up, you're gonna be left out in the haze. Well, all we can hope for is that we make it through. But there's just one problem, it's left up to me and you. Said there's just one problem, it's left up to me and you. Talking about 8th Street, 8th Street, 8th Street. Well, I've seen our lives changing in so many ways. Forget about tomorrow, you know we gotta live for today. People living and loving, that's the only way. You know, I think it's possible we all can make it here today. Said I think it's possible we all can make it here today. Head Street, bring it on back. Thank you.
Native Walrus. And we've got the fellow coming up next who has played here more than any other person. He sings ballads so well. I was really charmed when I first heard him playing up at Jenny Lake out by around the campfire. Marvelous, and I still enjoy listening to him. Dick Barker.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try a couple of songs that I think are appropriate to do on this weekend. this Memorial Day. This first one is about a young man who lost his life in 1943 in the Army in the Solomon Islands. And in 1945, a PFC in Special Services wrote a song about him. And this PFC was Frank Lesher, who went on to greater known hits on Broadway. But he wrote this song about a young man who was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, and his name was Roger Young. Oh, they've got no time for glory in the infantry. Oh, they've got no time for praises loudly sung. But in every soldier's heart in all the infantry, shines the name of Roger Young. Shines the name Roger Young. Fought and died for the men he marched among. To the everlasting glory of the infantry lives the story of Private Roger Young. It was he who drew the fire of the enemy. Gotta go back a verse. Caught in ambush lay a company of riflemen. Just grenades against machine guns in the gloom. Caught in ambush till this one of 20 riflemen volunteered to meet his doom. Volunteered Roger Young, fought and died for the men he marched among. To the everlasting glory of the infantry lives the story of Private Roger Young. It was he who drew the fire of the enemy, that a company of men might live to fight. And before the deadly fire of the enemy stood the man we hail tonight. Stood the man, Roger Young, fought and died for the men he marched among. To the everlasting glory of the infantry lives the story of Private Roger Young. On the island of New Georgia in the Solomons stands a simple wooden cross alone to tell that beneath the silent coral of the Solomons sleeps a man remembered well. Sleeps a man, Roger Young, fought and died for the men he marched among. to the everlasting glory of the infantry lives the story of Private Roger Young. Thank you. We're certainly not alone in our day of remembrance. Last month I did a song and I had a request to do it again, and it I think is also appropriate for this time. April 25th in Australia and New Zealand is our equivalent of our Memorial Day. It's Anzac Day. Australia, New Zealand Army Corps, and it is mostly in remembrance of, in the First World War, 1915, when they were part of the Allied forces landing on the Dardanelles in Turkey. Over a period of nearly a year, the Allied forces, especially the Anzac forces, lost 152,000 men on what was actually a diversionary attack. And when they finally pulled out in, I believe it was February of 1916, they hadn't gained anything. They'd been on a beachhead literally for almost a year. And the estimated loss of the Turkish and German forces was something like 151,000 men. 300,000 men lost their life really for naught. So on April 25th in Australia and New Zealand, they remember their dead. Folk singer by the name of Eric Bogle wrote this song actually in 1980. Now when I was a young man, I carried me pack and lived the free life of a rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, well, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, me country said, son, it's time you stop rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship rolled away from the quay. Amidst all the cheers, the flag waving and the tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. How well I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and how in that hell that they call Suvla Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was ready, he primed himself well. He showered us with bullets, rained us with shell, and in 5 minutes flat he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours and the Turks buried theirs. Then we started all over again. And those that were left, well, we tried to survive in that mad world of blood, death, and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, though around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big turkey shell knocked me feet overhead. When I woke up in me hospital bed, and I saw what had happened, I wished I was dead. I never knew there was worse things than dying. For I'll go no more waltzing Matilda, all around the green bush, far and free. For to pitch tent and pegs, a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. So they gathered the crippled, the wounded and maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind and insane, those proud, wounded heroes of Suvla. And when our ship rolled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where me legs used to be, and I thank Christ there was nobody waiting for me to grieve, to mourn, and to pity. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. Nobody cheered, they just stood and they stared. Then they turned their faces away. And so now, every April, I sit on me porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reviving old days of past glory. And the old men march slowly, old bones stiff and sore. They're tired old heroes from a forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. But the band played Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But as year follows year, more old men disappear. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? And their ghosts may be heard as they pass by the billabong. Who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me?
Barker. Yes, and we have a singer and guitar player that's doing an awfully good job. It's his 7th time here. Please welcome Carlos Sosa.
It's beautiful music by Dick Barker. Song's not going to be quite as serious, but we'll give it a whirl. Hopefully it won't offend. I don't really know who sings this song. I heard Willie Nelson sing it once before, and that's about it.
Put another log on the fire, then cook me up some bacon and some beans. Then go out to the car and change the tires. Then wash my socks and sew my old blue jeans. Come on, baby, you can fill my pipe and then go fetch my slippers. Then boil me up another pot of tea. Then put another log on the fire. Then come and tell me why you're leaving me. Now don't I let you wash the car on Sunday? And don't I warn you when you're getting fat? Ain't I gonna take you fishing with me someday? Now a man can't love a woman more than that. Now ain't I always nice to your kid sister? Don't I take her driving every night? So sit here at my feet, 'cause I like you when you're sweet, and you know that it ain't feminine to fight. So put another log on the fire, and cook me up some bacon and some beans. Then go out to the car and change the tires, and wash my socks and sew my old blue jeans. Come on, baby, you can fill my pipe and then go fetch my slippers. Then boil me up another pot of tea. Then put another log on the fire. Then come and tell me why you're leaving me.
I think I will get a little more serious on this next tune. This song was written by a guy named Sid Houseman. Sid's from Tucson, or actually, yeah, I think he's from Tucson, Arizona.
25 people on the run, headed north in the desert sun. Near noon, the water's running low. It's 110 degrees, far from the shade of trees, near the route, El Camino del Diablo. The desert dweller knows to seek the shade till the sunlight goes, if you will live to reach your goal. Ravens left ahead, Lechkia 3 found dead, died of thirst, said the border patrol. Caminando por la Bahara, vámonos norte del río. Hay trabajo y esperanza en los Estados Unidos. Locked behind the boxcar door, 19 men lay on the floor, dreamed of life that they had never known. Only one man braved again to tell the story of his friends across the river to send some money home. There's a code of law and order when you live along the border. Travel fast, life is cheap, take the gold. El Coyote leaves no trails, the posse's on his tail, pockets full of the lives that he stole. Caminando por la Bahara, vámonos norte del río. Hay trabajo y esperanza en los Estados Unidos. Caminando por la Bahara, vámonos norte del río. Hay trabajo y esperanza en los Estados Unidos.
That's Carlos Sosa. Now we've got a fellow came up from Texas way, brings a lot of songs from down that way, things I've never heard before, but plays mandolin or guitar, sings along with it. This is Gary Smith.
I'm going to bring some help up here, quite a bit of it, matter of fact. I don't know how I remember some words in Spanish. I can't remember them in English.
Missing somebody.
We got
Greg.
Sure.
Greg coming?
That's
Oh, we got one more here somewhere.
We had one. Yes,
Let's see if he's coming.
Now we're missing two.
No. I don't even sing well. Leave alone tell jokes. Is he here? Okay. This first song is going to be Your Love is Like a Flower. Oh, they tell me your love is like a flower. In the springtime it blossoms so fair. In the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Remember the night, little darling, we're sitting on the banks of the stream, when you whispered so sweetly I love you, and the waters they murmured a tune. Oh, they tell me your love's like a flower, in the springtime it blossoms so fair, in the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. I remember the night, little darling, we're talking of days gone by. You said that you always would love me, that your love for me would never die. Oh, they tell me your love's like a flower, in the springtime it blossoms so fair, in the fall when it withers away, dear, they tell me that's the way of your love. Spring, the spring when you whisper those words there, flowers are blooming so fair, but the day as the snow falls around us can see that your love was never there. Oh, they tell me your love's like a flower, in the springtime it blossoms so fair, in the fall They tell me that's the way of your love. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, frog got away from anyway. Have we got one more? Wayne. Yeah, here it is. Kentucky Waltz. That night in Kentucky to the beautiful Kentucky waltz, and I was a boy that was lucky, but it all ended too soon. As I sit here tonight in the moonlight, I see your smiling face, and I long once more for your embrace and a beautiful Kentucky waltz. Thank you.
Gary Smith and the band. All right. We've got a fellow we haven't heard from for, a month and a half, I guess. Played with this pretty consistently through the winter. Back here again, Jack Downs.
I want you to look out there and tell me where you can go hear this kind of music and that kind of view. Nowhere. I've been traveling around here the last month or so. I had to get down someplace where I could sweat and ride my Harley.
Been to Oklahoma.
Yes, I was. How you doing, Sean? Here's a song called The Great Compromise. Knew a girl who was almost a lady. Had a way with all the men in her life. Every inch of her blossomed with beauty. She was born on the 4th of July. She lived in an aluminum house trailer. She worked in a jukebox saloon. She spent all the money I gave her to see that old man in the moon. I used to sleep at the foot of Old Glory, wake at the dawn's early light. Much to my surprise, when I opened my eyes, I was a victim of the Great Compromise. We used to go out on Saturday evening to drive in on Route 41. It was there that I first suspected she was doing what she'd already done. She said, "Jack, won't you get me some popcorn?" She knew I had to walk pretty far before I disappeared in the moonlight. She hopped into a foreign sports car. I used to sleep at the foot of Old Glory, used to wake at the dawn's early light. Much to my surprise, when I opened my eyes, I was a victim of the Great Compromise. Well, you know, I could have beat up that fella, but it was her that hopped in his car. I spent many a night trying to protect her. This time she'd gone way too far. Now some folks, they called me a coward, 'cause I left her at the drive-in that night. But I'd rather have names thrown at me than to fight for a thing that ain't right. I used to sleep at the foot of Old Glory, wake at the dawn's early light. Much to my surprise, when I opened my eyes, I was a victim of the Great Compromise. Now she writes all the fellas love letters, saying, "Won't you come see me real soon?" And they all line up at the bar to spend a night in that sick woman's room. But you know, sometimes I feel kinda lonesome. I wish she was my girl instead. But she won't even let me live with her. She makes me live in my head. I used to sleep at the foot of Old Glory, wake at the dawn's early light. Much to my surprise, when I opened my eyes, I was a victim of the Great Compromise. Thank you. try to write a new song every time I come here, and so I wrote one the other night. This is going to be on an album I hope to get working on sometime this summer. Sometimes, you know, there's people that are right for each other that just can't be together. And so sometimes you end up with somebody you don't really want to be with. Hey, it ain't funny. It's happened to me a lot. A song called It's Not About Love. In your heart, you know she loves you, so you can't quite understand why you're sitting here alone tonight while she's with another man. She wishes she was here with you, but push finally came to shove. She's in his arms tonight, but it's not about love. She wanted all the pretty things your love just couldn't buy. Now he holds her in his arms at night, but she still thinks of you and cries. As night gives way to the morning, it's you she's dreaming of. But it really doesn't matter, 'cause it's not about love. It's not about love. But there's no turning back now. It's not about love. But it don't matter anyhow. Will his diamond ring and all the pretty things and his mansion be enough to help erase your memory when it's not about love? So you pick up all the pieces of broken dreams that you once shared. Try to tell yourself it's over and you no longer care. And tonight you'll hold another, but it's her you're thinking of. But it really doesn't matter, 'cause it's not about love. It's not about love, but it don't matter anyhow. It's not about love. And it's too late now. She's got diamond rings, you've got that pretty young thing, but they'll never be enough to forget about each other when it's not about love. It's not about love. And late at night you both cry. It's not about love. As the years drift slowly by, you got the diamond ring, you've got a pretty young thing, but they'll never be enough to forget about each other when it's not about love. It's not about love.
This is President Clinton's personal minstrel. A very serious young fellow that comes to play songs here once in a while, and does many entertaining things which are indescribable. Here he is, John Carney.
All right, John.
It's kind of bright up here. I got some sun this weekend. I'll tell you when I didn't get any sun, though. What Bill didn't tell you is that this is half of the Carney boys, or the Carney brothers. Now, where's Pete? Well, what I want to know is, I was supposed to play with Pete on Saturday, which is a beautiful day, pouring rain, if you remember, in the square, and I showed up to play in the square. Of course, fortunately, there was no one there, but neither was my brother. So Fred Crane had to introduce me as half of the Carney boys. So I'm afraid I may be half of the Carney boys, but I'll try to be twice as good so that you won't notice. Anyway, I'm here on the traditional column. That means I got to play songs that are 30 years old or older. That's older than I am, you know. And but I know a few from that era, fortunately. And I'm going to do one now, but what I really like about when I hear somebody like Dick Barker, who's a true folkie, Dick has a way of coming up here and kind of giving a little lesson about the history of the song and where it came from and what it meant. And it's usually a meaningful folk song of good quality and taste and all that. And of course, you know that when I'm up here, it's invariably none of the above. So, but I thought I'd take a page from Dick's book and at least talk a little bit about this song I'm about to play. Now, indeed, not to disappoint anybody up here, the song I'm about to play is supposed to be funny. And we'll leave that to you to decide. But it was an old folk song written by a guy I've never heard of, a guy named Michael Wilson. It was written in 1952, so that qualifies. I'm okay, Dick. And it was a song, like a lot of old folk songs, it was written about a fairly grisly event that took place in the town of Fall River a long time ago at the turn of the century. And it was about an axe murder. Only, unlike the old English ballads, this one makes very light of this particular axe murder, or pair of axe murders, as the case may be. And so it's sort of a little like the Menendez brothers deal, you know, taken back, 80 years past. And I don't want to spoil too much about the song, but there is kind of an explanation at the end of the song. It's just something that you'd expect to have been written back in the 50s. It's kind of a cute, silly excuse for why this all happened. But in fact, they have later found out in studies of this particular person that there was some child abuse involved. And so, in fact, it was at least what the Menendez brothers claimed happened. So this particular lady had taken enough from her parents and decided to fix them up good. And this song goes like this, for your listening pleasure, and especially uplifting on this Memorial Day weekend. Here we go. One hot day in Old Fall River, Mr. Andrew Borden died, and they booked his daughter Lizzie on a charge of homicide. Some folks say she didn't do it, others say of course she did, but they'll all agree Miss Lizzie B was quite a problem kid. Oh no, you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts, even if it's planned as a surprise. No, you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. You know how neighbors love to criticize. Those pesky neighbors, you know. What's that smell? Coming from across the street. Well, she'd got him on the sofa where he'd gone to take a snooze, and I hope he went to heaven 'cause he wasn't wearing shoes. Lizzie kind of rearranged him with a hatchet, so they say, and then she got her mother in that same old-fashioned way. Oh no, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts, even if you're tired of her cuisine. What are we having for dinner, Mom? No, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts. You know that kind of thing is bound to cause a scene. Okay, now. How are we doing? We got a few chuckles here. It's been kind of a somber night tonight, hasn't it? All Memorial Days. Okay. Well, they really kept her hopping on that August afternoon, with both up and downstairs chopping while she hummed a ragtime tune. Now her ma, when Lizzie got her, looked an awful lot like Pa, like somebody in a pickup had been backing over Ma. Oh no, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts, then blame all the damage on the mice. No, you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. That kind of thing just is not very nice. Now here's the reason you've all been waiting for. Because this is the 1950s reason. It's not the real reason. How does it go anyway now? I'm serious. I'm in trouble. I'm dying here. You know, I was going to bring the music up here. Just read me the last verse, Hank. Now, she wasn't done for pleasure, and it wasn't done for spite, and it wasn't done because the lady wasn't very nice. She had always done the slightest thing that Ma and Pa had bid. They said, Lizzie, cut it out. And that's exactly what she did. Oh, no, you can't chop your mama up in Massachusetts, then get dressed and go out for a walk. No, you can't chop your papa up in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a far cry from New York. That's a very frightening moment, you know, when you just completely lose that. Hank was about to run down and get it for me, which would have been great, but...
Take a long time, too.
No, it's right there, actually. It's about 2 feet behind you, but... Anyway. Now, I hate to do this to you, but,
Yeah, we know, John.
he's the owner. I can't do anything about him. Okay. Now, actually, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a serious song, okay? Will you bear with me just for one song?
We'll laugh.
They will laugh. She's right. It doesn't matter. No matter what I do, they will find a way to find humor in it. Okay. But now this song, I want to dedicate this song to 2 people who are here, and they'll be probably very embarrassed by this. But I have 2 friends who are here tonight, and they're on their honeymoon. Mm-hmm. They're sitting in the back of the room there, Jeff and his wife Sandy. They've just gotten married. I know he's my age, kind of late. And hey, there's a guy out there that thinks I'm doing this for him. See, Bob, you're gonna have to do something about that deck. Those people are doing crazy things out there. And they're not buying drinks from the bar. So I think they're smoking something. Don't tell anybody. Anyway, this also is a traditional song. It qualifies. It's an old Bob Dylan tune. And I think it's a great song about sort of finding the right person and being whole with the one you love. And I think that's appropriate for Jeff and Sandy, who are starting this union. See, look, she's already laughing. Look, I don't mind. It's okay. But Jeff and Sandy will be deeply offended if you laugh during this song. If today was not an endless highway, if tonight was not a crooked trail, if tomorrow wasn't such a long time, then lonesome would mean nothing to you at all. Yes, and only if my own true love was awaiting, if I could hear her heart a-softly pounding, only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie in my bed once again. You're doing very well. I can't see my reflection in the water. I can't speak the sounds that show no pain. I can't hear the echoes of my footsteps, nor remember the sound of my own name. Yes, and only if my own true love was awaiting, if I could hear her heart a-softly pounding, only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie in my bed once again. There's beauty in that silver shining river. There's beauty in the sunrise in the sky. But none of these and nothing can touch the beauty that I remember in my true love's eyes. Yes, and only if my own true love was awaiting, if I could hear her heart a-softly pounding, only if she was lying by me, then I'd lie
Jeff and Sandy.
John Carney, a master showman. Wow. We've got a fellow that has been gone for quite a while. He went back to Maine, our home state back there. But he's back here again. Please welcome back Wayne McKinney.
All right.
Thank you. Get some more guys here somewhere.
There's a silence on the prairie, man can't help but feel. Shadows growing longer now, nipping at my heel. You know this old 4 lanes runs beneath my wheels, are taking me back to my sweet Wyoming home. Headed down the road last summer with a few good friends of mine. They all hit the money lord, but I didn't make a dime. Entry fee, it took my dough. The traveling took my time. I'm headed back to my sweet Wyoming home. Watch the moon smiling in the sky. Hum a tune, a prairie lullaby. Hear the wind, the old coyotes cry. Song of home, sweet Wyoming home. All right, bro. Say, I wish you luck. You know you're in a jam. Money's riding on that bull. He don't give a damn. The shows in all the cities, they can turn your hats to clay. All a man can muster just to try and get away. Songs I'm used to hearing, not the kind that jukebox plays. Take me back to my sweet Wyoming home. Watch the moon smiling in the sky. Hum a tune, a prairie lullaby. Hear the wind, old coyotes cry. Song of home, sweet Wyoming home. Well, I've always loved that ride, but it ain't quite the same. Another year might bring me luck of the winning of that game. Magpie on the fence rail, calling out my name. He's calling me back to my sweet Wyoming home. Watch the moon smiling in the sky. Hum a tune, a prairie lullaby. Hear the wind, wind. The old coyotes cry a song of home, sweet Wyoming home. That's the song of home, my sweet Wyoming home. Thank you. Once I had a silver stallion, you ought to see him run. One horse in a million, I sold him for a song. That was the one, that was the one. I should have held on, that was the one. Once I had a big block Chevy, 40 mile and 12.1. Drove the local girls all crazy, cruising all night long. That was the one, that was the one. I should have held on, that was the one. But I guess life is slipping right on through my hands. Right now I'm wishing I could ride that horse again. That was the one, second to none. That was the one, that was the one. Once I held a perfect woman, loved me like a movie star. I often think about her lying in the dark. She was the one, she was the one. I should have held on, she was the one. But I guess life is slipping right on through my hand. Right now I'm wishing I could ride that horse again. That was the one, that was the one. She was the one, that was the one, that was the one. Second to none, that was the one. Thank you.
Wayne McKinney. Boy, good to have him back. All right, we're going to take us a break. See you back here in about 10 minutes. Oh, hey, hang on just a minute. We've got another entertainer coming up here. Bob Dornan's going to tell us something. Is it serious or is it funny?
Well, who knows, Bill? Well, guys and gals, I got a few announcements to make tonight. And some will be informational. Some may hit you a little hard, so you're going to have to bear with me a little bit here. I don't have a guitar. This is my prop right here, guys. As you're probably well aware, we've changed our food venue in here. Starting next June, the 1st of June here, we're going to extend this hours in here a little longer, probably till 9 o'clock. But at 7, we want to keep that door closed back there to try and keep the noise down from interfering with hootenannies or whatever, you know. We're going to have that outside door. There'll be an outside order counter around the side there, a wood shed I sort of built last fall. So we expressed, I hope you will use that, patronize that around there if you need, order pizza, salads, what the heck ever we have here, you know. And use that, try and keep the noise down so we can cut that off a little bit. So that's sort of a change in our venue. We're going to go to 9 o'clock on that. So they'll be ordering outside there. But the big change we've got here, it's sort of hard to get it all online here, ladies and gentlemen, but we've hosted this music review, what we call our Hootenanny here, for 4 years now. And our bottom line is, to be real blunt about it, we're losing our butt on it, you know, and we're going to have to make some changes in it. For example, we've got 2 things I can tell you about that's cost us a little bit of money here that doesn't cover it. We pay $2,300 a year to ASCAP and BMI. Most of it's attributable to the hootenannies. That's a regular thing year in, year out. And we pay a doorman X number of dollars in the off season, a little more in the summertime. That comes out of it. So from the economic standpoint, and God knows we hate to do this, we're going to have to start putting a service charge on the door out here. And we're going to charge you $2 a person to come in here every hootenanny night. And that excludes the musicians and their wives and or their girlfriends, whatever. Yeah. And but it's just the crunch is sort of hit here, and make it viable. We don't like to do it, but it's just we've supported it wholeheartedly, and especially me. I've been a great fan of this type of music. I've loved it for years, and hopefully we've had an impact on keeping it going through this area here and around the western United States a little bit. We really love this acoustic music, but it's sometimes it sort of hits a blank wall here, and it's so we're going to institute that charge, and the old timers here have been around here for years. I hope it doesn't hit them too hard. We hope they'll continue to support it. But it's we're going to make some special dispensations to the musicians. Dick and Bill will inform them on an individual basis what's going on and what we're giving them. And but for you folks, it's come to that time where we've had to make a few changes, and we'll hope you support it. And if you're not, well, that's the way life goes, But then again, it's we've enjoyed it, and I hope you continue to support it. And I especially want to give a great gratitude to Dick Barker and Bill Briggs for the work they've done working with us. And we had a real good discussion with them last week on this whole situation around here. And they were very amenable to it. And so guys, it's I say a little new venue. We'll hope we'll carry it on, because we've enjoyed this type of music, enjoy you people around here, and hope we can keep it going. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Let's all take a break. See you back here in 10 minutes.
All right, if everybody could take your seats, we'll get started with the second round. If anyone is here who wasn't here when we started the Hootenanny tonight, welcome. This is our 220th Hootenanny here at Dornan's. We do this every Monday night, and as I said earlier, we ask but two things, and the first is, please, no smoking in here for the rest of the evening. And again, we ask everyone to join us in please not talking while the performers are on the stage, since this is listening type music. We had a full slate tonight. We had one person on a standby on the waiting list. He's a young man who was with us last summer and has been away for the winter, and we're going to give him an opportunity to do a couple songs, and then we will do a second round, and we only have time this evening for all the performers to do one song on the second round. So we're going to start off with John Williamson.
Howdy. I've been away where it's a lot warmer. Warmest winter I ever spent down in Georgia. I was only here once before, and I'm going to do a couple of the same songs I did then, because I hadn't really got my sea legs back for the stage yet. So, first one I wrote, well, same as any song, wrote it with a broken heart. station straight down through this cold barroom floor. One more beer, finish me dear, and the last one is here in my hand. And all that I'm seeing is a memory of you in the bottom of this Budweiser can. And all I'm seeing is a memory of you in the bottom of this Budweiser can. Thanks. Thank you very much. Next one's about somebody else who was heartbroken. It was my fault. I think, if I can just remember the first word. I'm lying in your bed. I'm wishing I was dead. 'Cause this would be the place I'd wanna die. But I know that I must rise and watch the tears come to your eyes. As I lean back in again and say goodbye. I'm living on the road. I'm playing honky-tonks, you know, in the little towns across the USA. I'll be back home when
That was John Williamson. And now we're going to do a second round. We're going to have all the entertainers just do one song. That's all the time we have for tonight. We'll start off once again with my co-hoot, Bill Briggs.
A war song. Oh, where be to the orders that marched my love a war? And way be to the cruel cause that caused my tears to fall. And way be to the bloody wars of high Germany. Or they had taken away my love and left a broken heart for me. Oh, drums beat in the morning before the streak of day, and the wee fife played loud and shrill while yet the dawn was grey, and the bonny flags were all unfurled, a gallant sight to see.